Give us a game, Bee. Look, it don't look like Pat'll be back for a while.
Nearly an hour. Of course, I reckon Mrs. Jackson knows what's going on.
Look, I told you before, Smith.
She doesn't know.
Like hell.
It'd take much intelligence to know it's nothing good.
Well, it'd be something to do with a pill, wouldn't it?
Oh, come on. She's already told you that had the gong.
Maybe the cops have come up with something else. Maybe they found new evidence that proves she's not guilty.
Don't be stupid.
Well, I don't know. After all, she never done nothing wrong in the first place, did she? Well, it wasn't her fault her old man lobbed on her after he'd done over the warehouse.
What are you up to, Latham? 5 minutes ago, you wouldn't give Pat the time of day.
I just reckon she's had enough of it, that's all.
Yeah, well, you'd know all about that, wouldn't you?
She's in shock. She should be dealt with Dr. Miller.
She said she doesn't want to. Anyway, Meg, you're off duty now. Pat, what's wrong?
Shut up, Latham. She'll tell us in her own good time.
Good evening, and now for the main stories. There seems to be no end in sight over the problems facing surprise turn this afternoon. As a result of evidence given by Dr. Gregory Miller, Mr. Herbert Smith, chief witness for the Crown, changed his testimony. Miller revealed that Smith had visited his surgery during the time he claimed he was held by
it was
O'Connell.
Greg.
Now, faced with this
Shut up,
evidence,
Latham.
Smith broke down and made a full confession. His revised testimony included evidence that O'Connell's mother visited him during the time he was at large. A late report just to hand, David O'Connell was found dead in his prison cell shortly after 3:30 this afternoon. There were no suspicious circumstances.
You see? It's all right. No one's to blame. No suspicious circumstances.
Love. Pat, it's better this way, Pat. Pat, he was... Well, I mean, what did he have to look forward to, Pat? 50 years in the loony bin?
Chrissy!
He's better off. He's better off, Pat. He's better off, Pat. He's better off, Pat.
Better off? He's dead! You bitch! Davey's dead! Oh, my God!
Now get in here!
What's going on?
Oh, Doug, O'Connell attacked her.
Nurse.
Oh, Doug, my head, quick!
Calm down.
She tried to kill me, Doug!
Just calm down.
You keep her away from me!
Come into the hospital.
No,
It's not serious.
Stop her head!
Give her a painkiller, bandage the wound.
I didn't
It won't
mean
need
to
stitches,
hurt
all right?
I was only trying to...
What the hell happened?
David O'Connell suicided this afternoon.
Sit down, Pat.
You kill him! Go on, Davey's dead! And you killed Davey! It didn't matter to you, did it? Nothing
Get her a
else about
sedative
you
before
told
she
us.
does anything else.
You didn't mind what
Hurry,
was left
Greg.
of us.
You'd reckon they'd tell us something, wouldn't you? Oh, now, why would they? It's like a bonus in Vera's pay, be able to keep us in the dark.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's Doc Miller's fault. Finding out he shopped her was about the last straw, I reckon.
He didn't know what he was doing, Bee.
Ah, bullshit.
We'll get a move on. I thought you'd be anxious to get back to your friends.
Roughing up a pregnant lady.
I imagine I can leave the rough stuff to you, Smith.
Okay, spill it. What happened to Pat?
Yeah, spit it out, you dirty
I
little
thought the
rag.
officers were here to protect us, Miss Bennett.
You're on your own, Latham. Birdsworth,
I never laid a finger on her.
shut up and get outside.
Just when it was getting interesting.
Run into a chair.
You know bloody well what happened.
Still keen on dressmaking.
Look, I know it's a bit late, Bee, but I'm really sorry for what I said to Pat. And I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
I mean it, honest. I mean, if there was anything I could do, I'd do it. I
Did
swear.
you tell the screws why Pat laid into you?
Yeah, I swear I did, but by that time it was too late. I mean, she'd already attacked the dog, so it didn't make no difference.
You have turned over a new leaf, haven't you? Nagging yourself.
Like I said,
What's the matter? You frightened of what Pat's going to do to you when she surfaces?
she's off her head, Bea. We're going to have to stick together, aren't we? Well, I mean, she won't do nothing while you're around, will she?
Fancy you asking me for protection.
Reed, that's Paul to his mates. Told me what's going to be like when I get out. I'm going to look after Doreen.
Get her into trouble, more likely.
Oh, knock it off, Bea. After all, if she wants to get out...
You know, I liked you better when you were nasty.
He tell you about the money you get when you get out, Lizzie?
Me pension?
Yeah, well, sort of. They give you that so you get on your feet again. $50, bit more maybe.
50 smackaroos?
Here, don't you go spending it all on booze now, will you?
Let me see. A bottle of gin used to cost 19 and 6. That's $2 in the new money. Probably more now, say $3. That means I can have a bottle a night for 2 weeks and still have plenty left over.
And I thought you were going to dig your heels in and stay here.
Oh, not now. I reckon I'll make it. I'm going to set the outside on fire.
Those cops give you a going over, did they?
They won't be happy till they put me in the waxworks next to that Dr. Crippen and put up a sign and sell tickets.
Now, what are you talking about?
I don't know. They're trying to fix some new evidence about some missing money.
Now, what evidence?
I don't know. But they're trying to fix something on me. Plain as the nose on your face. Making out I done away with the whole bloody sheep station. Sheep, dogs, everything. Anyone caught a cold that year, I did it.
Oh, now, come on. What could they find out after all these years?
They won't tell me. It must be something. But true, Bea, I didn't do what they said I did.
Oh, of course you didn't, Lizzie. I know.
I'd done me time. And now they're trying to stop me parole and I'll never get out. Just as I was thinking I had something to look forward to. And they won't tell me what for.
Then we'll just have to find out, won't we?
How?
You leave that to me. And don't fret, Lizzie. No one's going to stop you from getting out.
Smith, why aren't you in the laundry? I've been looking everywhere for you.
Well, my feet were hurting, so I thought I'd slip me sensible heels on.
I didn't ask for your life story. Now get yourself down to Mr. Reed's office.
Now, what do I want to see the social worker for?
He wants to see you.
Bloody waste of time.
That's exactly what I said. Now go on, there's an officer waiting for you at the security gates.
You want to see me?
Beatrice Smith.
I've been called worse.
Thank you.
Oh. New coat of paint. New furniture. Same old story.
Sit down.
No, thanks. I'm pretty busy. Now, what can I do for you?
I take it you don't approve of people in my profession.
Well, now you do catch on quick. You get points for that.
Why don't you sit down and open your mind, if you can stand the draft?
Oh, a sense of humour too, eh? Well, that makes a change. Get points for that as well.
I won't beat about the bush.
Better and better.
I understand that you have some sort of influence with the women, that they look to you as a sort of spokesperson, which is why I want to see you. I want you to pass on a declaration of policy, if I might call it that.
I'm listening.
I'm concerned with the women's welfare, which doesn't mean that I'm here to save souls or to wipe runny noses. However, if somebody has a genuine grievance, I will take whatever action I consider to be appropriate. For example, Pat O'Connell's attending his son's funeral, or Chrissy Latham being transferred back to the laundry.
No one's going to thank you for Latham.
I'm not here to win a popularity contest. I would also like to organize some kind of activity, something which will aid rehabilitation, or at least help to pass the time. There doesn't seem to be a great deal going on here.
Now, what did you have in mind?
Well, I thought I'd leave that up to you. I'm open to suggestions. There's no point starting something if nobody's going to be interested.
I'll ask around. Can't promise anything.
But you will try.
I said I'd ask.
Good.
What about Lizzie Birdsworth?
What about her?
Well, upset an old lady with a bad heart. That comes under welfare, doesn't it?
Go on.
The cops are really putting the wind up her, and they won't tell her why. She's frightened she'll lose her parole. Maybe you can tell us what's going on.
Well, I know that she's due for parole. I'll see what I can find out.
Good, thanks. Oh, the name's B.
The VJ is coming tomorrow to deal with Coulson and O'Connell.
Mr. Goodwin?
Yes. How do you feel about Paul Reed's recommendation that Coulson receive the maximum sentence?
I agree with him. She needs to be disciplined.
No doubts in your mind?
No.
And what if you're wrong?
There's no point thinking like that. You make a decision and you carry it out.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Reed.
Just a small query, Mrs. Davidson. I know it's none of my business, but Lizzie Birdsworth, when's she going to be told what's going on? I believe she's getting a bit nervous.
Well, that is unfortunate, but I'm afraid she can't be told anything until the police finish their investigations and send their report to the Attorney General's department.
Yes, of course, of course. I'm just wondering how we're going to keep the lid on this thing. It's been my experience that people have ways and means of finding these things out.
Providing the staff are discreet, I don't see any problem. Do you?
As if I haven't done enough time. Now they're starting on me again, just when that nice Mr. Reed made me think it was worthwhile getting out after all these years.
Sounds crummy to me, not even telling you.
That's how the cops work. Make you squirm until you crack up and confess.
Why don't you just tell him to sod off?
No, that's guaranteed to raise a laugh.
Well, she shouldn't just take it lying down.
Coming from you, that's very funny.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's not doing anybody any good, so shut up. Do you reckon Mr. Reed will come good, B? Well, he said he'd see what he could do, Lizzie. Oh, he better come good because he's my only chance.
I don't know. I've been thinking about going to see Davo and putting it on the line.
Do you reckon she'd tell you, B?
Well, it's worth a try.
What's worth a try, Smith?
Finishing a conversation before you barge in, Vera.
You're not here to make conversation. Now get back to work. All of you.
I want to see the governor.
What for?
It's personal.
The governor's busy with the VJ.
Then when can I see her?
I'll let you know when it's convenient.
I won't hold me breath then, will I?
Do some work, Smith. In case you'd forgotten, your friends O'Connell and Coulson have an appointment with the VJ shortly. If I were you, I wouldn't count on seeing either of them back here for a while. Come on, Leach. You've got 2 hands. Use them.
I know what I'd like to do with these 2 hands.
Don't worry, love. One of these days she's going to end up in the dryer. Like Anne Yates. And we'll put a little window in it and we'll watch her going round and round and
With her face pressed up against the glass.
And when we take her out...
She'll be all up and fluffy like one of them pink dunny seat covers.
Oh, that'd be the first time in her life she ever gave anyone a good laugh.
Yeah. A person can dream, I suppose.
Yeah. B,
What?
Well, if there's anything I can do to help, anything at all...
If it
with
hadn't
Lizzie-
been for you and your big mouth, Pat wouldn't be up in front of the VJ now. So next time you want to open your trap, think about it first. Mind over natter.
Long. Not yet. Right. We can't keep the VJ waiting. His name is Mr. Goodwin, and you'll address him as such. Any questions?
Any news, B?
Could you've only been gone 5 minutes?
I thought if I went out for a while, something might happen.
Yeah, well, it didn't.
Oh, he's taking his time, isn't he?
Bloody social workers, who needs them? I mean, they think if they keep us weaving baskets long enough, we won't have enough time to make a fuss about anything. I mean, that's all they care about.
I don't reckon having something to do is so bad. Helps pass the time.
Well, maybe you would like to give out Mr. Reed a few suggestions. He wants to know if we want to do anything. It's part of his new Broom Act.
Do what?
Oh, you know, drama club, debating society, that sort of thing.
Big deal.
Oh, I don't know. We used to have a newspaper at Barnhurst.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to do all sorts of things, write about what was wrong inside, where you can get legal aid, all that sort of stuff. We even had our own crossword, just like a real paper.
What did you write, the Dear Chrissy column?
Yeah, dear Chrissy, I got a problem with a screw. Who won't?
Very funny.
I don't know. I reckon a newspaper could be fun, B.
Oh, what could we write?
Oh, I was real popular at Barnhurst. We used to send messages to each other, in code, of course.
Yeah?
Yeah, Screws never twigged.
What sort of messages?
Anything you like. Sounds...
Come in. Come in, B. What can I do for you?
You wanted suggestions? Well, the girls want to start a newspaper.
A newspaper?
Yeah, I reckon it's got possibilities too.
Well, do you think they can handle it? That's a pretty tall order.
I don't see why not. They did it at Barnhurst and everyone's dead keen. You'll just have to watch the language, that's all.
A newspaper, that's not a bad idea.
Right, that's one for you. Now, how about one for me? Lizzie Birdsworth, what's the story?
I haven't spoken to the governor yet.
Bit slow off the mark, aren't you?
Look, I told you I'd see if I could find out what's going on, but I haven't had a chance to. And if that's all you can to see me about.
Up?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, now, come off it. Don't you try and tell me you don't know what's going on. I can smell it.
I said I have been busy.
Doesn't take more than 10 seconds to pick up that phone and dial the governor's number. Now, why don't you do it while I'm here, seeing as I've interrupted your work? I can wait.
You quite finished? B, throwing your weight around will not achieve anything with me.
I think I just found out something worth the visit.
Oh, hello, love. They let you out, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice to see you back again. We missed you.
Oh, shut up, Birdsworth, and get on with your work. What are you doing there, Leach? Where's Smith?
She went to see Mr. Reed.
Oh, anything to get out of a bit of work. O'Connell, help Latham with that basket.
Pat, I'm ever so sorry about what I said to you. I had no right, and I don't blame you for having a go at me.
Forget it.
I mean it, Pat, and I'm really glad they didn't do you for it.
Yeah, thanks. It's this place. I don't blame you.
Hey, Pat. Ah, don't tell me they've done the right thing by you, love.
That'll be the day. What'd they do with Rose? Put her back in solitary for a week.
Poor little kid. Yeah, well, at least you're here. Our little Miss Roz is going to have to learn things the hard way.
Hey, B, did you see Mr. Reed?
Yeah, I saw him.
What'd he say?
He reckons the newspaper's a good idea. So get out your pencils and your code books, girls.
Hey, B, what'd he say about me?
Nothing, love. I'm sorry. He said he hadn't had time yet, but when he does...
Oh, thanks. At least you tried. What's going on?
Don't worry, Lizzie. We'll find out somehow.
No, I don't reckon. And to think that I listened to him and thought he was on the level. Just shows you can't trust nobody.
You can trust us, Lizzie.
Oh, yes, I know that. I didn't mean you, love.
I reckon he knows exactly what's going on and isn't saying anything. A bastard.
What do you think they're trying to cover up?
Well, if it was evidence to prove that Lizzie was guilty of some other crime, yeah, they would have come down like a ton of bricks and be farting around the way they are now. The cops have got something on you, they don't keep you guessing. So, 20 years inside would take one hell of an apology if you were wrong. Much easier to forget about it. No red tape, no red faces, business as usual.
You mean she might be innocent?
Has happened before.
And they're trying to cover up. Yeah, just the sort of thing they would do. But how are we going to find out for sure?
Bugger if I know. They're not going to tell us, and that... And who invited you?
I thought maybe I could help.
Oh, yeah, help who?
You want to know what's going on, don't you? And I've got a key. You might be able to use it.
Sure.
Well, I haven't got it on me now.
What sort of key?
I made it myself. Opens all sorts of things. Real handy it is.
So, want to help, do you?
I said so, didn't I?
What do you reckon, Pat? Reckon we should give her a chance?
I think she means it.
Of course I do. I told you before.
I'll tell you what you can do with this key of yours, Chrissy.
Oh, now, just a minute, Bea. I never said I was going to do anything with it. No, I'll give it to you two, and then you can do whatever you like.
You said you wanted to help.
Yeah, but I don't want to take no risks.
Now, look here. You butted in. And if you want to help, you had better bloody well prove it.
It's the time. Will you relax, Pat? Everyone knows what they have to do. It'll all work out just fine.
I hope Chrissy doesn't get cold feet.
Well, she said she'd do it.
She will if she knows what's good for her. Our problem's going to be keeping Lizzie off our backs if she thinks something's going on.
But she's confined to cells, isn't she?
And what about working hours? You saw what she was like in the laundry.
We'll have to tell her sometime, poor love, whatever we find out.
There's no point in upsetting her. We'll just play it by ear.
Don't let me interrupt your game, ladies.
We won't.
Everything's very quiet tonight, Smith.
Yeah, the band couldn't make it.
Always the comedian.
Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Listen, Vera, that's the third hand I've lost with you breathing down my neck. Why don't you go and play your own game?
I don't play games, Smith.
Well, I do, and you're putting me off.
You're such a poor loser. If I were you, I'd read a book.
When she was a kid, I bet she pulled the wings off flies.
I bet she pulled the legs off the kid next door.
She gone?
Almost.
Well, Chrissy'll think we've called it off.
Oh, let's hope not.
Okay, girls, let's go.
What are you doing here, Lathan?
I just want to go to the loo.
Well, all right then. But hurry up. I'll have to wait for you.
Thanks.
She's ready.
Okay, Marge.
Hey! What's going on?
Vera?
Turn that thing off.
Oh, now what's your problem?
What the hell's going on here?
Just a friendly little arm wrestle.
Yeah, we just got a bit excited, Miss Bennett. That's
Shut
all.
up! Who rang that bell?
Bell? What bell?
The alarm bell. Don't play the innocent with me, Smith.
I didn't hear any bell. What about you, girls?
No.
Somebody set off that alarm.
Oh, it wasn't us. It's probably a fault in the wiring. These things do happen.
Latham, what are you doing out there?
I got locked out, Miss Williams. Officer Edwards let me through, see, to go to the loo. And by the time I got back, she'd gone.
Yes, all right. Get back where you belong.
Here, what's going on anyway?
You tell me and we'll both know. Go on, off we go.
And you'll stay there until we find out just what you've been up to.
What's going on, Bea? Alarm bells ringing, screws rushing all over the place.
We just thought we'd keep him on the hop, Lizzie.
Eh?
Well, there was nothing on the telly and I was sick of playing cards.
Just thought we'd get them up off their backsides. You should have seen Vera's face.
It was worth it just for that.
You set off the alarm just for a joke?
Yeah, why not?
And no other reason?
No, just for a laugh.
Just having a bit of fun, Lizzie.
It's a pity you had to miss it.
And that's all there was to it?
Of course, what else would it be?
Pigs it was.
Everyone has been accounted for. Nothing was stolen or damaged. Seems the whole thing was a practical joke. Of course, no one knows anything about it.
Are you sure it wasn't a technical fault?
We had a man out here first thing. The system is in perfect order.
Why on earth would they want to do a thing like that?
If you ask me, they've got too much time on their hands. They're bored.
Are they still locked in their cells?
Yes.
Well, I suppose you'd better let them out and give them breakfast. If we don't know who's responsible, we can't very well keep them all locked up. That won't solve anything.
Do you mean you're not going to do a thing about it?
After the women have had their evening meal, they will be locked in their cells. I think a week should do it.
Right.
How much longer are they going to keep us in here?
Until they're sure nothing's been nicked.
I wonder how Chrissy went. The place was crawling with screws. If she'd been caught, she'd have blabbed everything by now.
What are you two whispering about?
I thought you were asleep.
Yeah, we didn't want to disturb you.
I thought I could trust you two. Doesn't matter how well you think you know somebody.
Oh, come on, Lizzie. What could we be keeping from you?
Come on, you lot. Get yourself showered and off to breakfast.
Breakfast? More like bloody lunchtime.
If it was up to me, Smith, I'd throw away the keys.
Have a busy night.
The recreation room is out of bounds every night for the next week. You'll be locked in your cells after your evening meal so that you can joke and laugh without disturbing anyone. Now get a move on. And Birdsworth, get up.
Well, that was on the cards. Come on, Lizzie.
I'm not going nowhere. Not until I know what you two are up to. And don't give me that bull dust about playing games.
Suit yourself. I wonder what's for breakfast. I'm starved.
Oh, yes,
Poor Lizzie. I'm starting to feel terrible about this, Bee.
Yeah, I know you are, love. So am I.
Chrissy will be at breakfast, won't she?
She'd better be.
She's not here, Bee.
Yeah, I think it's sort of not. Well,
You were right.
I'm trying to stop her from getting out.
looks like it. Kind of takes your appetite away, doesn't it?
What's the story?
Some old geezer made a deathbed confession. Said he poisoned them shearers, not Lizzie.
Where did you find it?
On Davo's desk. It looked like a police report to me.
What else did it say?
I didn't have time to read it all, did I? That's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's all we need to know. That poor old bugger. Almost 20 years, and she didn't even do it.
What are we going to do?
I don't know.
Do you think we should tell her?
How do you tell a person a thing like that?
Well, we've got to do something now we know for sure.
Yeah, I know, Pat. Let me think, will you?
What about telling the newspapers?
Well, you can't trust them to print the truth.
We couldn't get it out to him anyway.
And you reckon that new social worker's not much cop?
Him? He's as bad as the bloody screws.
To the newspapers is the best idea.
Yeah, but how?
Maybe we could get to a phone somewhere. In reception.
And?
Well, tell them what's going on.
Look, they're going to want more than a telephone call before they print a story like that. And I can't see the screws allowing a journalist in here for an exclusive interview.
Ladies, could I have your attention, please? I'm happy to report that the governor has approved your idea to start your own newspaper.
Oh, you.
Well, such enthusiasm. I'm overwhelmed. I thought you said they were dead keen.
Well, yes. You see, they're overwhelmed too, actually. We didn't think it'd have a hope in hell, did we, girls? But it's fantastic, really. I mean, we're thrilled, aren't we?
Okay. When do you want to start?
Start?
Begin.
Yeah. Well, we've written a couple of things, but we don't really know how to put it together properly. I think we're probably going to need some help.
Oh, did you have anything in mind?
Not really, no, but, well, maybe if we could get a few pointers from a professional journalist.
Oh,
what do you say, girls?
That would be a great help.
That would be great. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
All right, I don't see why not. Leave it with me. I'll arrange it.
Good, thanks.
Bea, you're a genius.
Yeah. No, I've suspected that for some time.
Found her sweeping the floor of the cottage, and he just grabbed her and kissed her, not even a word.
And when he dragged her off the train and across the paddock, and everyone followed them cheering like mad.
That was a lovely film. I must have been a kid when I first saw that.
I was a great John Wayne fan. I reckon him and I would have got on real well together.
Who'd you like, Lizzie?
Oh, she likes Errol Flynn.
Don't. I like Gable. Don't get much chance to see him being locked up in here.
What about Spencer Tracy?
Hey, Lizzie, why don't you come and write something for the paper? Lizzie?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, come over here and give us a hand.
I don't want to say nothing to nobody.
Never gripe about something. Write a letter to the editor.
That's you, I suppose.
Yes, so?
All right. Try this for size. Why's everybody turned against me all of a sudden? I'm locked up in here all this time and the cops are trying to pin something on me and I haven't done nothing and they're trying to stop my parole. And my so-called friends know that something's going on. And they don't worry that I'm going out of me mind because I don't know what's happening and I've been in here. Oh,
Leave and turn her back on you. We'd never do that. Hang on. This will be all right, I promise. I promise. Come on now.
He said he'd be here at 9 o'clock. Is he usually late?
No,
Is there any way you can get in contact with him, find out what the hold-up is?
not really.
You always this helpful? Who's this?
Mrs. Davidson, the governor.
Oh.
Oh, thank you.
Mrs. Davidson?
Yes.
My name's Mal James. Paul Reed and I had an appointment for 9 o'clock.
Oh, yes, he told me about it. You've come to talk to the women about their newspaper project.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he hasn't fronted, and your friend on the gate there won't let me in or tell me what's happening.
Well, that's very odd. Mr. Reed's a very punctual person.
Well, he hasn't shown up, and time is marching on. As you can appreciate, I've got a lot of things to do.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, why don't you come through with me and I'll leave you with an officer until Mr. Reed arrives. We can't disappoint the women.
No, of course not.
Morning, Ted.
It's not what you know in this life, son, it's who you know. Now, apart from all these things I've told you, layout, developing a house style, sub-editing, all of these things, just keep in mind the qualities needed to be a good journalist. You should be fair, accurate, always ask questions, always be on the lookout for something that might have been overlooked. You know, a journo's greatest asset, apart from his honesty, is his curiosity. And a friendly publican. Thank you, ladies.
Never heard such bull. Yeah, you reckon he believed it himself.
Now, are there any questions, ladies?
Yeah. How do you know what's news and what ain't?
Well, if it's about people and their problems, it's news. You see, it doesn't have to be world-shattering. People are always interested in other people.
Yeah, but some people are boring, though.
Yes, sit down.
All right, ladies, settle down. There aren't any sensible questions.
What about invading people's privacy, Mr. James?
They don't have to talk to us, Mrs. O'Connell. They can always close the door.
Can they?
Yes, they can. How are you getting on here? They treating you all right, are they?
Could you confine yourself to discussions of the women's newspaper project? I've asked you once before.
Sorry.
Now, there aren't any more questions. I think we should show our appreciation to Mr. James for giving up his valuable time and coming to talk to us. All right, everybody file out.
Oh, hang on, Miss Bennett. We haven't had a chance to show him our stories.
All right, Smith. I've checked them. There's nothing offensive.
Well, there's quite a few here. I won't be able to get through all of these today.
Well, I'll take him with you. We don't mind.
All right by you?
If you want to go to the trouble.
No trouble.
I think you'll like my story. It's a real ripper.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, everyone, file out. Latham, you stay behind with Smith and stack the chairs. Mr. James, if you'd like to follow me, I'll show you the way out.
Thank you.
Mr. Reed must have been held up somewhere, although I thought he would have made an effort to be here.
Well, these things happen.
Just sneak it in.
Yep, he's got it.
I just hope he doesn't dob us in, that's all.
You heard what he said. If it's about people and their problems, it's news. We just handed him a gold mine. He won't dob us in. I reckon our Lizzie is about to appear on the front page.
That old bastard walking around all these years while I've been stuck in here.
I suppose you're lucky you came good in the end.
Lucky? I was due for me parole anyway. He ain't done me no favours.
Well, at least this way you'll get compensation.
Yeah? How?
For wrongful imprisonment.
How much do you reckon I'll get, B?
Oh, I don't know. Would have been millions for all the years you've been locked up in this dump.
You'd be lucky. They'd charge you board and lodging if they could get away with it. You need to get a good lawyer, Lizzie.
Oh, I'll be all right. Old Davo will look after me.
Davo? Fat lot of good you'll get out of trusting her. She wouldn't even have told you were innocent if B hadn't forced her into it.
What do you mean?
Tell her, B.
Well, I didn't want to take all the credit. After all, it was Chrissy who broke into the governor's office and had a look at your record. After a bit of persuasion, of course.
When did this happen?
Day before yesterday. During the riot alarm.
Day before yesterday. And you let me sweat.
Well, we had to, didn't we? I didn't want to build your hopes up until I could smuggle the story out. I gave it to that journo with all those papers. I reckon he must have found it.
Why else would they have told Lizzie the truth?
Oh, now, come on, love.
What do you care if the screws are a pack of bastards? You're going to be out of here soon.
Stop that. Just to think you did all that for me. Just for me. I'm not going to have any friends like that on the outside.
Lizzie! Oh, where the hell is she? Oh, here she comes.
Now, where the bloody hell have you been? I thought you were supposed to be working in here this morning.
I've been reading the paper.
And where'd you get that?
Mrs. Jackson gave it to me. I reckon I could get anything I like in here now.
Well, I should hope so, since you're seeing as how you shouldn't be here at all. When are they letting you out?
Mrs. Davidson said we've got to wait for the red tape.
Yeah, front page, eh, Lizzie? They'll be wanting to buy your live story next.
You reckon? God, I could tell them a story or two.
So could I.
Hey, those stories are ones the screws make up, but listen to this. Mrs. Davidson, Governor of Wentworth Detention Centre, said today there had been no attempt to cover up. That all the details had not been released earlier because the facts hadn't been checked.
Yeah. And they'd have still been checking facts when they carried Lizzie out of here feet first if we hadn't stepped in. I heard Davo was hopping mad about it.
I bet you'd love to know how we found out. Yeah, they buy any fool story these days.
How much do you think I'd get for it?
Oh, no, $1,000 or more.
$1,000? God! Think how many bottles of gin I could buy with that. Hundreds and hundreds.
That just shows how long you've been in here, Lizzie. It's about $15 a bottle these days.
It can't be.
You want to bet?
How much do you say my pension would be?
About $50.
God, that's only about 4 bottles.
Oh, Lizzie, Mr. Reed wants to see you in his office.
Is it about me getting out?
Well, you'd better ask him.
Oh.
Come on, everybody, back to work.
Right, Mrs. Jackson, I'd like to see the governor, please.
I'll see what I can do.
Ta.
There we go, Lizzie.
Thanks. You haven't got anything to put in it, have you?
Sugar?
No, thanks.
Well, Lizzie, you'll probably be out of here by tomorrow afternoon. Have you thought about where you're going to stay? And do you have any relatives?
Got some kids somewhere.
But I haven't seen him in years. I wouldn't even know where to look for him.
What about friends?
Only Dor.
Oh, yes, Angela Jeffries phoned me yesterday. There is a room for you at the halfway house if you want it.
With Dor?
Yeah, you'd like to live with Dor, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. Do you reckon I could write her a letter and tell her to meet me when I get out?
Yeah, you do that and give it to me. Quicker than the post, and by then we'll know exactly what time you're getting out. In the meantime, all you have to do is sit and wait. Oh, by the way, you'll be relieved of all duties.
Oh, couldn't I do something? That's awful boring just hanging around. Do you reckon I could work in the kitchen?
I don't see why not. I'll arrange that.
Thanks.
Lizzie, when did you find out that you were to be released?
Yesterday. Mrs. Davidson told me.
None of the other women knew.
Well, I didn't say anything about it.
But they did know. Lizzie, it would help if I knew how they found out.
I'm not lagging. They're the only friends I've had for the past 20 years.
Yeah, thanks, Lizzie.
We just heard that Lizzie was getting out. We thought we'd like to give her a farewell party.
Yes, all right. Ask Mr. Reed to take care of that, would you, Mrs. Jackson? I think that's something he could handle.
Right. Thanks. Mr. Reed isn't too popular, I take it.
What makes you say that?
Well, you wouldn't have to be a clairvoyant to work that one out, would you?
Mrs. Jackson, Mr. Reed says I'm getting out tomorrow. Would you give him this? It's for Dor, telling her to meet me tomorrow. I'm going to live with her.
Oh, that'll be nice. Here, we're giving you a farewell party, Lizzie.
Oh, great!
And this is a party with a difference. You get to give us the presents.
You've got to be joking.
Oh, you're the one that's getting all the money. Besides, all the stuff you've pinched since you've been here, you could set the rest of us up for life.
I never stole nothing.
No, of course you didn't.
Come on, Bea, that's enough.
Don't get a hernia carrying it all out, will you, Lizzie?
Where's Bea?
She's with the social worker. What do you want her for?
I was thinking of something she said about a few things I borrowed from people.
A few things?
Yes, I decided to give them back. This is Bea's.
She's been looking for this for ages.
The battery's a bit flat, but Bea won't mind, will she?
Come in, Bea. Sit down. Well, you conned me good and proper, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The story you gave to Mel James. You know, somehow I got the idea that I'd set the whole thing up for him. Couldn't thank me enough.
Well, it's nice to be appreciated.
Yes, unfortunately, Mrs. Davidson doesn't see it the same way.
Dave, I think she did it too. What a beauty.
Yes, so you can see I'm in a lot of trouble.
In it up to your neck, I'd say.
All because of you, Bea.
Nothing to do with me.
Mel told me that it was you who gave him the story.
Then he's a liar.
Why would he lie? Anyway, that doesn't concern me. What I want to know is how you women found out.
Now, how would I know that?
I thought that you knew everything that went on around here. All right, Bea, we can play cat and mouse games all day. It'll get us nowhere. Or we can get down to business. Now, if Mrs. Davidson thinks that I'm giving stories to the press, she's not likely to give me confidential information in the future, which is going to make my job here very hard.
So?
So I won't be much help to you women.
You're not much help to us now. What about poor old Lizzie? You knew all along they were trying to cover up the fact that she was innocent, and you did nothing about it.
That is not true. Lizzie was not told because nothing was definite until yesterday. It would have been a bit rough to build up her hopes, only to find that her clearance didn't come through after all, now wouldn't it? Which is probably the reason why you didn't tell her yourself, I'd say.
All I can tell you is what I've heard. You know the other day when someone set that riot bill off? Well, that's what happened. They got into the governor's office, and it seems that report was sitting right on her desk.
Yeah, but how did they get in? There was no sign of forced entry.
Beats me.
So they must have had a key. Now, where would they get a key?
That is all I know.
Well, thank you, Bea.
You can do me a favour now.
So soon.
It's about Lizzie. We want to give her a proper send-off.
I thought you'd already cleared that with the governor.
Well, we have, but because she's been here longer than anybody else, we want to make sure it's something real special.
Like?
A barbecue. That Barbie's been out there for years. No one's ever got around to using it. You reckon you can clear that with Davo?
Yes, I think I can.
Good, thanks.
Provided the weather holds.
It'd have to be snowing to stop it. And then I reckon there would be a riot.
Any more for pressing, Kat?
What, already? God, you're getting through quick.
Well, Bea wants to get extra done, so we got more time for Lizzie's send-off tomorrow.
Yeah, fair go. I can't go faster than the machine.
Ah, come on, Pat, she's right. Let's have a smoke. I've just about had it. Where's Latham? It's almost knocking off time.
I should sick call this afternoon.
Oh, doesn't take all day to have a checkup. I swear, if this keeps going on, I'm going to report her. Then see what happens to her precious remission.
Yeah. You'd do that, wouldn't you?
Where have you been?
As if you didn't know.
No, I don't know, and I want an answer.
I've been with your mate, Paul Reed. What did he promise you, Bea? Maybe he didn't promise you anything. Maybe you're just a rotten bitch.
What are you bloody on about?
She lagged. She told him about getting into Davo's office. The key, everything. B. Smith's a dirty, stinking, rotten lagger.
You stupid cow. You told him. He was only guessing.
How else did he know about the key, then?
I tell you, he was only guessing or lying. Did he tell you I dobbed you in?
Who else would it have been?
Oh, you better get rid of that key, otherwise we're all in strife. You haven't given it to him.
Well, you said if I didn't, he'd tell the governor and I'd lose my remission.
Stupid. I don't believe it. I don't believe you. I hope that bastard of yours has got a brainy father, because he's not going to get any brains from you.
You!
Moron. You're nothing but troublemakers, the pair of you. All right, get to the dining room, the rest of you. You two can go to your cells.
Miss Bennett.
One more word out of anyone, and I'll have all privileges suspended for a week. Now get going.
You put the little bits on first, then you wait for it to catch, and then you put the big bits on.
I know.
You've got to screw the paper up real tight.
Oh, Lizzie, for Pete's sake.
All right. You do it if you're so smart.
Hey, what time are you getting out?
Oh, about 4 o'clock, the governor said. Is that right, Mrs. Jackson?
Yes, Lizzie.
Free as a bird, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, don't tell me you're going to miss us.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, get off it. Just you wait till you get that first beer into you. Then send me a postcard and tell me you want to come back.
Dora'll be there, too.
You try and keep her away.
Oh, you're doing it all wrong. Now look what you've done. You put the big ones on too soon. You gotta give it air. I told you, put the little ones on first and screw the paper up real tight. Like that.
Nothing to David. Otherwise, how come we're all out here?
Well, you better be right, that's all. For your sake.
What's the matter? What are you all talking about?
Nothing to do with you, Lizzie. Not anymore, anyway. All right, you pack of bludgers. If you can all stop feeding your faces for a minute, I'd like you to charge your glasses so we can drink a toast to our old mate here. Lizzie.
Lizzie.
Oh, for
She's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us, and so say all of us, and so say all of us. For she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Why was she born so beautiful? Why was she born at all? Because she had no say in it, no say in it at all.
It's time Birdsworth was leaving.
I'll come with you. Mrs. Jackson, we're releasing Lizzie now. Let the women stay here a little longer if they feel like it.
Right. Come along, Lizzie. You've got to get changed.
Take care of yourself, love.
Yeah, you too, Lizzie.
If it's a girl, will you call her after me?
What, Elizabeth?
Yeah, like the Queen Mum.
Yeah, sure. It's a nice name.
You should be getting out, not me. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, Lil.
That leaves her plenty of room.
You've been a good mate, Bea. What do you mean, Bean? Forgetting me already, your bag? I'll never forget you. Never.
Come on, Lizzie.
I'll never forget any of you. Bye, everybody. Thanks for the party. Bye, Mrs. Jackson. Bye. Remember to take your pills. Don't forget to take your pills. No. Oh, never mind. Okay. Tell us you're going to manage the room.
Dorian?
Those two together. Well, this is all start making up their beds now.